Bozavox.
So the question is, how do I connect a Bozavox into my system? Let's start with the Quick Start Guide, which I include in every Bozavox I ship out, and it's available online at bozavox.com as a downloadable PDF. It shows the 3 basic steps of using your Bozavox. Choose a sound, play or perform the sound, amplify and shape the sound. Since every setup is different, I'm going to use block diagrams. The inner workings of the blocks are unique to your setup. This video is just to show where the Bozavox fits in your system. The first block is the sound. Now for DJs, this might be a sound on a record or from a digital source. For musicians, it could be their voice or an instrument. For sound designers, maybe it's generated white noise. The next block is the amplifier. An amplifier is a necessity for use with your Bozavox. I will be doing at least one FAQ video dedicated to amplifiers since I get more questions on this than anything else. The third block is your Bozavox, where you actually shape the sound. The last block is the final destination. This is the stage where your Bozavox-shaped sound is either recorded, broadcast, transmitted through a PA system, or just listened to for your own enjoyment. Let's take a look at the connections. First, the output of your sound. If your sound source is an electronic device like a synth or a computer, the output of your sound block will most likely use one of these connectors. It's possible that it uses other connections like Bluetooth wireless. Just make sure the amplifier you want to use has an input that's compatible with your sound's output. If your sound source isn't an electronic device, for example, musical instruments, voices, or other natural sounds, it will probably require a microphone. Just know that the microphone will most likely need an additional amplifier stage, called a preamp, before it goes to your Bozavox amp. Next, the amplifier. I get a lot of questions about amplifiers, but just remember this. Any audio amplifier should work fine as long as you keep certain requirements in mind. For instance, any power amp should work. Most guitar amps and a lot of home stereos would even work. However, it does not include headphone amplifiers or headphone outputs. Headphone power is typically rated in milliwatts, so headphone amps simply don't have enough power. The first requirement is its power rating should be over 10 watts, which, this isn't a problem. Most amplifiers are over 10 watts. The second requirement is they have to have an input and an output or a way to send the power to an external speaker. This is a standard feature in power amps, but not necessarily in guitar amps or home stereos. Finally, they must be able to either mute or disable or disconnect any built-in speaker if it has one. The audio must go only to the Bozavox, not an additional speaker. Amplifiers themselves are pretty straightforward. All you need to do is match the connector from your output of your sound source to the input of your amplifier. Your Bozavox plugs into the output of your amplifier. The Bozavox has a 1/4-inch tip sleeve or TS phone plug. This is a pretty common connector for most studio amplifiers, but if you have a different connector, simply get an adapter that makes the connection. And then the last stage, your final destination. Where is the Bozavox sound going? There's an art to performing and capturing the sound just as you were playing an instrument. There's no right way or wrong way to do it. I like the sound better when I use a dynamic microphone. You may prefer a condenser. If you close mic the sound, you may get a lot of lip and tongue sounds, and maybe that's the sound you're going for. If you stand back further, you may need to do a little more noise reduction in post. So this is the point basically where you take your Bozavox and have fun with it. Just experiment around, see what you like best. Well, I hope that answered a few questions. I'll be making some more FAQ videos soon, so if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, please comment. Thank you very much and have a great day.
Bozavox.